Hi, I'm Mark, and over the next few minutes, I will give you a very unfair power over men. This power will allow you to sneak into a man's mind and control his thoughts from the inside. I will show you how to plant any idea or command in a man's mind by using this very power, and watch as his body fills up with a crazy sense of urgency to fulfill your wishes. I know this sounds too good to be true right now, but if you pay very close attention to every word I say, and stay till the very end of this presentation, you will be able to make any man feel an immediate and overwhelming attraction for you. Also, I must point out that this presentation could be taken down any moment for reasons which will become very obvious to you soon. Therefore, make sure you stop everything else and watch this presentation right now. I'm about to show you exactly how to use a secret superpower to sneak into a man's mind and literally charge him up with an invisible urge that gets him more and more addicted to you. This means that the same man who absolutely hated you with a vengeance and even found you to be physically repulsive will now stare at you with his eyes literally bulging out of his face. The same man who used to freeze up with a terrorized expression at the very mention of the word commitment will now eagerly and impatiently beg you to marry him. It doesn't matter if you're 18 or 80 years old, because this secret superpower will give you the capability to penetrate any man's mind so intensely that your presence alone will make his heart race with crazy love. It doesn't matter how many times you failed in the past, because now every man will feel an overpowering urge to be so close to you that he won't be able to restrain his feelings and will wish, want, and need you to be his forever. Regardless of how bad, ugly, or downright humiliating your current situation is, by using this superpower, any man will go out of his way to look after you, protect you, satisfy your every little desire, and will crave to be with you for the rest of his life. It doesn't matter if you're single, married, divorced, or going through a complicated situation, because now you'll be able to use this simple superpower and influence him to your way of thinking, diffuse arguments, and connect with him on a level that no other woman can even dream of. Okay, now those are some pretty fat, tall, and bulky claims. So, how can I be sure that what I'm talking about actually works? Well, I'm sure because this superpower will enable you to control a man's thoughts, and once you control his thoughts, you will indirectly control his feelings, and as a result, you will get control of his behavior and actions. This means that you will get the power to trigger any feeling you please inside him, and then watch as every fiber in his being urges him to claim you to the point where he won't be able to make himself interested in anyone else but you. However, before I share this exact superpower with you, I'd like to tell you exactly how and where I discovered it, and in order to do that, I'll have to reveal something embarrassing about myself. My name is Mark Scott, and I'm not some big relationship guru or a psychologist with a fancy PhD to my name. In fact, I'm your everyday average guy, and I'd be completely normal if it was not for one shocking secret. I don't know if I should be even saying this, but I'm currently a coach of an underground secret society where I teach men the covert secrets to attracting and keeping the women of their dreams. And as weird as it sounds right now, I'm in the business of turning total nerds into studs, geeks into girl magnets, and completely hopeless men into real alpha males, who most women would give an arm and a leg to have. But why am I telling you this, and how does this even benefit you? Well, there are three big reasons for that. The first reason is that I'm a hardcore addict, and that's a very good thing. How is that good? Well, it's good because I'm addicted to information. My weird addiction has made me read hundreds and thousands of books on psychology and human relationships over the last few years, which has turned me into a human solution machine when it comes to anything related to dating and relationships. The second big reason is that while teaching all these men in my underground group, I got a front seat view into the undisclosed secrets of the male mind. In fact, I got access to some of the most outlandish, hidden, and even shameless information on how men really think. These things range anywhere from what men desperately desire in a woman to the private secrets no man will ever share with a woman. And finally, the third and the biggest reason is that while teaching these men, I got to understand the secret psychological triggers and drivers which control the male mind. I know the exact thing a woman could say or do right now to have an almost hypnotic effect on any man. In short, the knowledge I have right now is ridiculously powerful and almost a little dangerous. However, here is the big twist. My plan was to never ever share this secret information with any woman. In fact, I had locked this information up in a mental locker and thrown the key away. But as odd as it sounds, my plan was shattered to tiny pieces when that crazy accident happened. I was out on the weekend at a restaurant with 3 female friends of mine. It was a usual evening and we were discussing our everyday events when suddenly the topic turned to men and relationships. One of my friends named Samantha started talking about her current boyfriend. Suddenly her body language changed from normal to withdrawn and then a little worried. As she spoke, tears started welling up in her eyes. She told us that over the last few weeks, her boyfriend of 3 years had turned into a completely different man. No more was he the same caring, generous, and loving boyfriend. Rather, he had grown into this extremely distant and uninterested man who was slowly but surely drifting away from her. As terrifying as it was for her to believe, she knew that her boyfriend was going further and further away, and there wasn't a thing she could do to stop him. Even worse, she had recently lost her job and now was on the verge of losing her boyfriend. She said that her heart just wasn't capable of taking another beating right now, and that statement bothered me. The magnitude of her pain almost paralyzed me. At first I tried to keep my mouth shut, but then the voices inside my head started to scream, forcing me to open my mouth. Eventually, I couldn't control it anymore, and my mouth erupted with words. I said one thing after another and could see an intense sense of surprise take over Samantha's pale face. In fact, all 3 women stared at me with an expression of absolute surprise stamped across their faces. I had indirectly given them the secret power and could feel an extreme level of panic rioting within my body. Before they could ask me anything else, I made up a stupid excuse and told them that I had to go somewhere urgently, and quickly left. After a couple of days, it must have been pretty late at night, and I was almost asleep when my phone went beep. It was a text message from Samantha, and it said, "Hey, it worked." I texted back asking, "What worked?" Within seconds, my phone rang. I picked it up and heard, "Oh my God, it worked." The excitement in her voice was overly obvious. She was absolutely pumped. She went on to tell me that she applied my trick, and within no time her boyfriend came running to her, wrapped himself around her like a warm blanket, and looked at her with such a happy expression that it was almost too good to believe. But then, just when she thought it couldn't get any better, he stared deeply into her eyes and said, "Will you marry me?" She was absolutely thrilled and thanked me endlessly because she couldn't believe how easy it was to make her boyfriend go from almost leaving her to now needing to marry her. In the days which followed, Samantha asked me to tell her exactly where and how I learned all this. She was literally begging me for the details. After many crazy hours of her literally twisting my arm and forcing me, I finally gave in and told her everything. I told her all the little, big, and almost embarrassing details of how I had been coaching a secret group of men for the past few years. I saw a mixture of confusion and disbelief on her face as she tried to digest this shocking revelation. But suddenly, a big, wide, and almost a little silly smile surfaced across her face, and then she said, "So you've been helping men, right?" "Yes," I said with a lot of hesitation. "Well, Mark, women need coaching too, and we could use your help," she replied. After a few hours of conversation, she suggested that I should start a small secret group for women as well, and although it didn't seem like a good idea at the time, I still reluctantly agreed. Over the next few weeks, I helped quite a few women. I shared the secret power with a woman who desperately loved a certain man, but this man treated her like a friend. She was stuck in a never-ending stream of sorrow and misery as she used to watch this man go out with one woman after another right in front of her eyes, while she couldn't do anything about it. After using the secret, this same man told her that he had been feeling a strange kind of obsessive attraction for her. After a few more days, he told her that he was struggling to keep himself away from her, and then told her that he had never lost his senses this completely to any other woman before. There was another woman with a heartbreaking story. She had married her high school sweetheart. They had 3 kids together. Sadly, though, he cheated on her a couple of years ago, and she felt that being in her mid-50s, no man will ever accept her. As a result, she began dating and accepting poor-quality men because deep down she didn't believe that a high-quality, attractive guy would ever accept someone like her. But after using my secret, she was able to get a very attractive guy to not only like her, but feel so mesmerized by her that he forced her to let him move in with her. At this point, you must be thinking, all right, Mark, can you please share this secret superpower with me? Well, I'd be more than glad to. Before I give you the goods, I want you to pay extra attention to each word I say next, because it's just going to be that important. So are you ready? Good. Then let's get to it. I don't know if you know this or not, but every human being has something called the reptilian brain. The sole job of this portion of your brain is to ensure your survival and to make sure that you achieve maximum possible pleasure out of everything you do. So the core job of this brain is survival and pleasure. This brain basically follows two rules. Rule 1. Unlike your logical brain, this brain doesn't have the power to reason and only understands the simple language of pain or pleasure. Therefore, it tends to motivate you to do more of the things which please you and less of the things which give you pain. Rule 2. Since this brain doesn't have any power to reason, any message sent directly to this part of a man's brain is followed with an extreme sense of urgency because it doesn't have the power to reason, and it has no power to reject a command. For example, if I say, "Don't think of a big, fat blue cow," what's the first thing which popped into your head? An image of a blue cow, right? That's because your reptilian brain can't reject a command even when it's told not to do something. Therefore, when you plant messages or suggestions in a man's reptilian brain, he becomes utterly immune to everything else and follows through with your commands as if it is something really urgent. To illustrate this further, let me ask you a quick question. Have you ever been around a man who was starting to grow bored and distant to the point where you tried desperately hard and did all the right things, but nothing worked and he kept slipping further and further away from you? By the same token, have you ever seen a man going absolutely brain dead in attraction for a specific woman to the point where he ends up doing something very shocking, embarrassing, and almost stupid things? Why do you think such a thing happens? This happens when a man's reptilian brain is completely convinced that a particular woman is a source of pleasure, and as a result, it force-feeds feelings of attraction in a man's system which urges him to actively pursue that woman. Similarly, when the reptilian brain concludes that being around a certain woman isn't pleasurable enough, it will naturally make a man feel that ugly knot of bitterness in his stomach, which will make him feel repulsed by that specific woman. In short, if you know how to trigger a man's reptilian brain the right way, you can make him go absolutely crazy for you. But get it wrong, and he will massively hate you and won't even know why. Okay, now that you understand how it all works, let me share the two absolutely vital things you must do to gain access to his reptilian brain and make him do everything you want him to do. Thing number 1. You need to get him emotionally excited. Men are very logical beings and usually have the wall of logic guarding the reptilian brain. The only way to bypass his logical brain is to get him emotionally excited. Once you do that, his reptilian brain will become completely open to your commands. Thing number 2. You have to direct his reptilian brain to attach the idea of pleasing you as an act of massive pleasure. As we've already discussed earlier, the reptilian brain only understands the concept of pain and pleasure. It motivates you to do more of the things which give you pleasure and less of the things which give you pain. Therefore, you have to train a man's reptilian brain to attach the idea of winning you over, pleasing you, or doing good things for you as an act of massive pleasure. Once you finish these two steps, a man's brain would become completely open, and that's when you can plant any ideas or commands by using the power of suggestive talk. And here's the best news. He won't even remotely know that you planted these thoughts in his mind, and he will assume that these are his own ideas. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, Mark, I understand that I need to get him emotionally excited and train his brain to attach the idea of pleasing me as an act of massive pleasure, but I don't know how to apply this to my personal situation and exactly what to do or say. So how do I do it? Well, unfortunately, I can't help you face to face. However, there is something I have already done for you which you'll thank me for later. You see, while I was coaching my secret group of women, the demand kept on growing. More and more women wanted my coaching, but I honestly couldn't keep up with the growing demand. After a while, I started getting so many applications that it became a little too overbearing. Therefore, I thought of a quick solution. I decided to take my coaching online and created a completely done-for-you step-by-step program I call How to Read a Man and Influence Him. I have laid out the step-by-step instructions on what you should do in every specific situation you may encounter with a man, and have spilled out all my closely guarded secrets which will make you capture the heart and soul of any man you please and keep him devoted to you for the rest of your life. However, I need to give you an extreme warning at this point. What I will show you is very useful and dangerous at the same time. It is like being handed a sharp knife. You can use it to cut vegetables, and you can also use it to stab someone. So I hope you use this responsibly and only for good purposes. Okay, so here's what you will learn. One single thing you absolutely must do on a first date, which makes a guy twice as curious, twice as interested, and makes him feel such mind-arresting attraction for you that he will see you as the ultimate resource for everything he could ever desire, want, and need. Hint: it takes less than a minute to do, and no man is immune to this. Discover the art of provoking addictive emotional compulsion. I'll show you an unusual way of talking to a man which will provoke an almost unbearable level of attraction in his core. You will become so deeply seated in his mind that he will crave you exactly like a hungry, salivating dog craves a bone. How to psychologically train your man into believing that you are his future wife. This magic technique aggressively flushes out commitment phobia out of his body, plus an ingenious little trick which breaks open his emotional floodgates and makes him see you as the one he is meant to be with forever. How to turn yourself into a naturally attractive woman, even if you aren't that attractive. This trick involves exploiting a genetic flaw in the male mind which puts him in an elevated state of desire for you, regardless of how you look. Men will have absolutely no way to stop themselves from running after you because their mind just won't let them. How to know exactly what your man is thinking or feeling at any given point, even when he doesn't utter a single word. This is the fastest and the easiest way to literally hear his thoughts as he thinks them in his mind. Plus, one crazy little statement you can use which will make him reveal all the shocking secrets he's been keeping from you. Is your man ignoring your needs and you feel neglected? Don't worry. Try my indirect influence technique and watch as your man literally begs you to express your needs just so he could fulfill them. This goes completely against conventional wisdom because this trick makes a man feel a crazy sense of satisfaction out of fulfilling your needs. Do you know about the psychological seed method? Use this and any man will get obsessive thoughts about you when you're not around. This might sound a little weird, but this is the #1 most important thing every man desperately craves in a woman. You'll know why when you see it. Discover how to ask him anything and always get brutally honest answers. I'll show you how to ask a question in an interestingly twisted way where he will be psychologically compelled to answer you, no matter how difficult or hard it has been for him so far. Now you will know exactly what he needs, wants, and expects from you. Are you stuck with an emotionally dead man who has a heart made of stone? Discover my emotion intensifier technique and watch him go from a cold, distant, and uncaring robot to the most loving, understanding, and caring man who is eager to please you. He'll convince himself that you're the most important person in his life. Are you scared that he might leave you? Discover my desire amplification trick and watch as your man goes from seeing you as the most insignificant person to the most important, charming, and insanely attractive woman he has ever come across. This is the fastest way to make him go from hatefully disliking you to desperately loving you. Did he leave you for another woman and now you want him back? Don't worry, my intense curiosity trigger formula will arouse a new sense of need in your ex's mind to pull you back. Try this and watch as he feels emotionally compelled to dump his current girlfriend and do anything humanly possible to get you back. Did you say or do something you regret and wish you can take it back? Don't worry. My unconditional forgiveness technique will help you erase all the bad memories, poor experiences, and damaging history from your man's mind completely. Plus, one simple sentence you must say right after to make him get a burning inner urge to become extra close to you than ever before. How to smoothly turn a nasty fight or an argument into a peaceful conversation and have him understand your side of the story and agree with it. You'll be surprised at how easily you will get his unconditional support and cooperation from now on. Hint: this involves using a subtle trick to weaken the critical part of his mind. The real reason why men lose interest. This will sound very stupid at first, and even extremely unreasonable, but not knowing this directly forces a man to avoid you. This can cause even the most understanding man to completely shut down and run for the hills emotionally. It's critically important that you know this before it's too late, and this isn't even half of what I've covered in my program. By now, I can tell you understand how valuable this really is. So now I want to know, what is it really worth to have this kind of power at your disposal? What is it really worth to have such an intense, hypnotic effect on any man that his heart beats against his ribs at the very thought of you? What is it worth to see any man completely melt like butter with attraction for you and willing to do anything you wish? What is it really worth to see that perfect man aching to touch you, craving to hold you, and needing you so intensely that it almost overwhelms you? Millions of women spend thousands of dollars on professional psychologists or therapists who charge $100 to $200 per hour or more for several months and even years, and usually aren't even able to give you solid, fail-proof solutions. If you add up the cost over time, it would be approximately $7,000 a year. So keeping that in mind, what do you think would be a fair price for my system? I think $297 would be fair considering the benefits you will get for the rest of your life. But you see, I don't want money to be an issue. In fact, I don't want money to be something which keeps you from gaining access to my program, which is why I've decided to do something crazy, but only for a short duration of time. I've decided that you aren't going to pay $297. You aren't even going to pay $197. Heck, you won't even have to pay $97. By ordering today only through this presentation, you get the entire How to Read a Man and Influence Him system for only $47. But wait, I need to let you know that I am planning on raising the price of my manual to $97 soon, as I've been told by some folks that my system is heavily underpriced, so I can't guarantee how long this will be available at $47. If you leave this page now, I can't promise that you will be able to get it at $47 again, so grab it while it's still available. Sounds good? But wait, there's more. I just don't want to make it a good decision for you. Rather, I want to make it so insanely valuable that you'll feel silly if you don't take advantage of it right now. Which is why, if you choose to invest in my program right now, I'll also add the audio version of this program worth $97 absolutely free. This will make the learning process ridiculously easy for you, because now you can plug the audio in your iPod, phone, car, or tablet and listen to it even when you are on the go. But wait, there's more. I would also like to give you my special webinar called How to Trigger His Emotional Hot Button. This webinar reveals the secret step-by-step method on how to direct a man's mind to focus on your positive aspects like a laser beam, while completely ignoring anything negative about you. This means that he will unconsciously ignore all your flaws and will find you exquisite in every way possible. In fact, you can apply this to a man who absolutely hates you, and he will experience his defenses weakening and will find himself experiencing an uncontrollable level of passion for you within seconds. Plus, I'll show you a crazy little trick to create buckets of neediness in his mind, which only you can fulfill. This means that his attention will zone away from other women and will only stay on you, because no other woman will be able to fulfill this need you provoked inside him. This webinar is super rare, and this is the first time ever that I'm revealing it to the public. It's currently valued at $47. However, I'll add it absolutely free of cost the moment you choose to invest in my program. Good enough? But wait, I want to give you one more special goodie. I'll also give you my special report called 7 Deadly Mistakes Women Make Around a Man Which Brutally Slaughters Their Chances. Do you know the 7 very innocent but terrible mistakes you could be making right now, which are eating away your chances with a man like termite eats away wood? In fact, here's the most dangerous fact. 2 of these 7 mistakes are something 99% of women do on a daily basis in hopes that it will win the affection of that special man, when in reality it is pushing him further and further away. In short, you might be training your man to experience feelings of hate and disgust around you without even knowing it. This single factor will make the most loving man hate you with a raging passion within seconds. This report is a $27 value, and I wrote it specifically for customers of this system, because these were the mistakes almost every woman was making without even realizing it. Alright, enough talk. It's time for some action now. Let me tell you exactly how to get my program and start using it 5 minutes from now. You will notice there is a big Add to Cart button below this video. Just click on it and you will be taken to a secure order review page where you will see a quick review of everything you're going to get. Then follow the Yes, Order Now button and fill in your payment details using a credit card, debit card, or PayPal. Once that is done, you will be taken to a download page where you can have instant access to the program and start reaping the benefits 5 minutes from now. And listen to this. I am so confident that my program will transform your love life completely and turn you into a woman who will be literally worshipped by your man that I am willing to take all the risk. Download my program right now, go through the first few sections, and watch yourself turning into this super attractive powerhouse around a man. If over the next 60 days you feel that you didn't get at least 10 times the value of your investment, or you just don't feel this program was right for you, even though that is almost next to impossible, or if you just didn't like it for some reason, let me know and I'll give you a 100% refund. No one will ever make a promise like that unless they know that what they are offering will work with 100% certainty. So you really can't lose with this. Just 5 minutes from now, you will have my program in your hands, and as you gaze over the first few sections, you will start to feel this sweet burn of excitement rising up within you. As you move through my simple instructions, you will feel like a new sense of power has opened and unlocked inside you. Then in the days which follow, you will find that men are looking at you differently, they are treating you differently, and most importantly, you didn't have to work hard to achieve any of this. You will notice that one special man, the one you always wanted but could never have, is feeling so drawn to you that he is willing to drag over fire just to be with you. You will sense the gentle warmth of love in his gaze, you will feel how deeply he appreciates you. And most importantly, you will feel beautiful and desired like never before. Alright, now you've seen and heard a lot in this presentation. If you got this far, then you really have 3 things you can do. Thing 1. Leave this page and completely forget about what you saw or heard. Go back to living your life the way you've always lived, and if that's what you're planning, then I wish you all the best. Thing 2. You are probably thinking about using the free advice you got from this presentation and doing it all on your own, which will definitely work for you, but there is a very high chance that you might struggle without knowing the right how-to steps. You could see short-term results, but it might not be permanent. Thing 3. You can stay on this page, hit the Add to Cart button below, download the program, and let me take you by the hand and guide you step by step through the whole process and put you on the fast track to massive success. And you understand that you have absolutely zero risk as you have full 60 days to try the system. So this should be a very easy decision for you. So hit the Add to Cart button right now and let me help you completely transform your love life. There are 2 types of people on this planet, the spectators and the players. The spectators are the people who only watch things happen. This is the group which suffers the most in life because they don't make things happen. Rather, things happen to them, usually really bad things. They sit and watch as life passes them by. They only hope and wish that someday things would be better, but nothing ever changes. And then you have the players. This is a select group of people who make things happen, who live a life full of abundance and happiness because they act on the opportunities provided to them instead of sitting there and letting it pass them by. Do you know what percentage of people are actual players? You'd be surprised. It's only 3%. The rest, 97%, are spectators. So it's no wonder that so many people lead a life of silent desperation. I want to ask you, which category are you in? Are you a player or are you a spectator? I hope you're a player. So hit the Add to Cart button below and grab this course right now. Here is the bitter truth. Problems that are not resolved today will most likely never be resolved. Majority of women spend months and years living in a nightmarish relationship, praying and hoping that someday things will change. The reality is that it won't. If you keep on doing what you've always done, you will keep on getting what you've always got. And here's the sad part. Most women refuse to get help. They sort of stick to their own personal theories and ideas. They take the old hit and trial route and struggle year after year to eventually end up heavily frustrated and hopeless. Why would you follow the hit and trial route when there are proven step-by-step secrets out there which will get you out of your misery and put you on the fast track to success? It's possible to create near-instant change in your relationship if you know exactly how to tackle various situations effectively, and that's exactly what I will show you in my program. I have done all the hard work for you. All you really have to do now is to download the manual and apply the strategies in your life. So take advantage of this special opportunity right now and click on the Add to Cart button below to gain access to my program and much more. Still skeptical? No problem. Let me address some frequently asked questions. When will I receive How to Read a Man program? The main program is in PDF and MP3 format, which means you can instantly download it to your computer, tablet, phone, or any other device to easily access it. I'm scared of sharing my credit card information with you. Your privacy and security is our #1 concern and priority. I guarantee you that your transaction will be 100% secure and is strictly private, because we don't personally process your payment, but rather you will be billed by Clickbank to help maintain your privacy. It's a very reputable company which has been in business for over 14 years now. If you are still unsure, you are welcome to Google them for more information. Also, your credit card statement won't show that you bought the How to Read a Man system. Rather, it will show you a charge from Clickbank. Therefore, you don't have to worry about someone else finding out that you bought our system. Can I trust your 60-day money-back guarantee? Yes, absolutely. In fact, it's guaranteed by Clickbank. So if you want a refund, you can email Clickbank and they will process the refund right away. I won't get your credit card information or your personal information. That is all kept completely confidential by Clickbank. How fast will I see results? Results could be seen right away after the application of methods mentioned in the manual. Therefore, the faster you apply them, the faster you will see results. What if for some reason it doesn't work for me? As far as my experience goes, that is next to impossible. By reading my manual, you'll be giving yourself an unfair advantage over 99% of women out there. If for some reason it doesn't work for you or you are not satisfied for any reason, I want you to get a full refund. And on top of that, you have a full 60 days to test and decide. Isn't that just great? What if I have extra questions? No problems. In fact, that would be even better. I would love to assist you personally if you have any extra questions. You will be provided special contact details in the download page where you can easily get answers to any questions you might have. Listen, you have nothing to lose and the rest of your life to enjoy the unparalleled power you will get with your relationships. Grab hold of this opportunity right now before it's too late. You are at completely zero risk with my manual. Either you get what you want out of men in relationships after applying the techniques mentioned in the manual, or you get your money back. How good can this actually get now? You will get everything you need right here in this manual, which will enable you to create the ultimate loving relationship you have always wanted, and keep the man of your dreams in your life forever. Click on the Add to Cart button below this video, and I'll see